up, everybody? This is November 14th, 2018. This is episode 1 of MMA MARKS with Ricky
and Buddy.
And let's get started. Alright, so first little introduction. I'm Ricky, that's Buddy, and we just love MMA. Straight up, we figured we talk about MMA all the time. Let's just get into it and make a podcast about it. So let's just jump right in with Buddy's introduction. So Buddy, what got you into MMA first?
Yeah, so I was always a pro wrestling fan, was really big into pro wrestling. But, you know, Ultimate Fighter 1 came around. I just loved every bit of it. Loved Chris Lieben getting drunk and going crazy. And I remember specifically watching like the main event of Bonner versus Griffin. And I remember even screaming from the other room, saying, "Ricky, you gotta come see this fight. Ricky, you're missing it. They're going crazy." You know? So
that fight was so good. That was just the springboard for everything, man. I mean, I remember seeing UFC 1, and it was just barbaric. And I was young at the time. I was maybe 10 years old. And it was just, I didn't know what I was watching, but I loved martial arts. I loved the whole ninja thing. I was into Ninja Turtles. So these are real people whipping each other's ass left and right. It was something I've never seen before. But I was too young. I didn't get into it. But it wasn't until I seen like Tito and Shamrock, and then I just had to be in there. Had to see it all the time. And that's what got me hooked, was the Tito and the Shamrock feud. And then you had BJ Penn, Matt Hughes. It just spirals on from there.
So to recap, Ricky's more of the traditional martial artist based fan, and I'm more of the, hey, I started off with pro wrestling. I like the whole shenanigans and, you know, maybe some disrespect even in the ring. I'm not all about the traditional martial arts of bowing and everything else. I like shit talking.
Oh yeah, that's you for real. You are the biggest shit talker I know. But that being aside, what about the greatest fight of all time? In out of all the fights that you've seen so far, what's the greatest fight of all time?
All right. So I cheated and looked at your paper, and just like you, I had something in mind, except I had labeled mine. I took your idea and made it better for me. So anyway,
forgive me for writing some stuff down.
So anyway, I had like little categories because you can't pick just one. So I think the most epic fight for me, like where I really marked out and went crazy and just felt like I was riding a roller coaster, was Bonner versus Griffin.
Yes, that got you out of your seat. Unbelievable
Screaming,
emotion.
You know, everything. It's just you just felt like you got goosebumps watching this. You knew you were watching history. Then move on to another one. My most intense fight I ever watched, where I literally am like, I remember my ex-girlfriend at the time, she had to tell me, because I wasn't paying attention to her, "Can you please let go of my hand? You're squeezing it too hard." And that's Shogun Rua versus Hendo, or Dan Henderson, 1 and 2. Both of them, it was very intense for me. I couldn't barely move.
That was one of those back and forth, you just edge of your seat the whole time, just beat down, brawl out.
Back and forth. That's what makes a great fight.
It does. It definitely does.
To hit my last category, and then you can tell us about yours, is one of the more recent fights that could consider one of my favorites, and that's Showtime versus El Kukui, or Anthony Pettis versus Tony Ferguson. They went back and forth. They went crazy. Tony cut open Anthony, and then he had his tongue hanging out, bleeding all over him, and it was just crazy epicness.
Some little BJ Penn remembrance back there, man. I just remember when BJ Penn's got his blood all over his gloves, licking his gloves.
I remember that.
Oh man, that was and their styles clash so good together with Tony Ferguson and Showtime. Just the unorthodox style back and forth. You know, Tony, even when he got hit, he fell weird. He's just a weird guy.
It went differently than I imagined that, by the way.
What do you mean?
I just envisioned Pettis almost walking through Ferguson in a way.
No way.
Well, I mean, I considered that, or Ferguson kind of like just doing some goofy stuff and getting a decision. Or like maybe, I don't know, I remember I told you, I was like, Showtime is just way more crisp with things, but El Cucui's, unconventional and crazy.
Yeah, and his striking, Anthony Pettis' striking that night looked unbelievable. He was on point. Everything was so crisp. Right, he was leading on his jab, and he was just, and then he would even throw in them crazy kicks, that little hand plant capoeira kick, and when he caught Ferguson, and Ferguson hit the ground, and then started rolling like a panda bear across the damn canvas. I was out of my seat. I couldn't believe it, and then he won. Well, no, he didn't. I wouldn't consider that a win. I wouldn't. Because he broke his hand.
No. He was done.
He broke his hand.
No, Pettis was done. The coach helped him.
Helped him? I mean,
he didn't have to verbally quit. The coach quit for him. He seen that his boy wasn't going to come back from the fight. He was rocked unbelievably. His heart wasn't in the fight no more. So the coach said, "Oh, your hand's broke." He goes, "Yep, my hand's broke." Okay, fight's off.
So you're saying that his hand isn't actually broke?
No, it was broke, but people fight with broken hands and stuff. He's fought, I think, with injuries before. I mean, everybody fights with injuries. I'm saying that his heart wasn't in the fight no more. I'm not saying that he's a bitch for that at all. I wouldn't fight.
It sounds like you're saying he's a bitch.
No, I'm just saying that he did quit.
He didn't quit. He didn't quit.
Don't take the one away from Ferguson. Do not do that.
I'm just saying they need to run. They need to run it back. They need to run it back. If
after Ferguson fights Khabib, and
yeah, that has to happen.
And then obviously Pettis has somebody to fight too.
Yeah, I think Pettis needs to fight back, but I'd love to see that rematch. Just like
Pettis is fighting Gaethje.
Is he?
Well, they're trying to make that for a fight. I think one of the first ESPN fights or sometime next year.
So did you see the first? I don't care. So did you see the first fight that's going to be on ESPN? Did you see the two people that are going to main event that event?
That's something that I was thinking about. Like, that's a really big deal. Like,
but do you know it's two girls that are going to main event that fight, and it's going to be Paige Van Zandt.
Oh, okay, and versus the other
and Rachel.
Yeah.
That just two
the two hottest girls.
Oh my God.
That's what everybody says.
Yes, I mean, what is it? Rachel Shensky or something like that.
Check this out. I was just telling Donovan about this.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I was looking through my IG and I was like, I don't remember following this porn star. Dude, I was like, dude, she's kind of hot. I'm going to look into this one. And all of a sudden I realized, like, oh, this is that fighter.
Yeah, man.
She got them lips, though.
Oh, my God. Everything about her.
I know, but them lips is what drew me in where I thought she was a porn star.
Oh, man, yeah. Yeah, she's just unbelievably hot. Like, too hot for fighting. I wouldn't want to see that face get messed up.
Paige Van Zandt just recently got some improvements.
Oh, my God, did she ever? I ain't mad at that at all. That's real nice.
All right, so you need to go back to the topic and talk about your favorite fights.
Oh, my favorite fights of all time?
It's your turn.
Oh, man. Okay. So, I've narrowed it down to 4 because I just can't pick one. So my first one, which got me out of my seat, just like you, was Forrest and Stephan Bonner with the UFC 1 or Ultimate Fighter 1 knockdown, drag out. You felt every emotion to that fight because of the lead up with the Ultimate Fighter. You knew these guys wanted it more than anything. And when they called Forrest's name and Stephan just crumbled because he put his whole heart, his everything into that fight, and you just felt so bad for the guy. I'm so glad that he got the contract too.
Yep.
And so we went over that, but the next one that really got me was Chael and Anderson Silva, because that was shit talking 101. The build up to that fight was so great, and Chael just knows how to talk some shit.
And he completely dominated.
Excuse me.
Completely dominated.
And he said he was going to dominate. That's what made it great.
Yep.
Is he said, I'm not going to punch this guy. I'm going to take him down and beat him for 5 rounds. And I thought he was going to do it. I was this close to putting money on the fight. I think I did put money on that fight. And then he just got that stupid triangle in last minute. and don't get me wrong, I like Anderson.
That's why Anderson's a GOAT.
I like Anderson, but man, I wanted him to lose just once, just the
Well, I
once.
mean, he's lost once
Well,
now.
yeah, I mean
But back then,
with
that's what you're feeling.
yeah, with Weidman, I mean, and then the rematch was just, ooh, that leg break was horrible. And then the other one that was a knockdown, drag out, back and forth fight, kind of like Hendo and Shogun, was Randy Couture and Big Nog. I forget the UFC number off the top of my head, but that's the first actually DVD I went out and bought for just for that fight, because that fight was so back and forth. I could not believe they just stood and banged, just stop. Okay, we're gonna just hit, kind of like Yair and Zombie just recently.
Yeah, they were said balls to the walls. Let's get it.
Yeah.
But I'm not familiar with that fight, to be honest.
Oh man, we gotta watch it.
You know, I'll watch that fight.
Yeah, that fight was awesome. And then because I'm, a little biased on this, but Faber and Aldo, and WEC, when they went for the first time, and Aldo showed everybody how a leg kick is actually used.
Yeah.
And he kicked him and kicked him and kicked him. It was so bad. His leg looked like two legs when it was done.
Yeah.
Because it was just bruised. It was so bad.
Oh, never mind.
Now what?
Never mind. You're good.
Well, that leads me into the next topic.
Yeah, that's what I was actually going to say.
Of course.
And that's why I said never mind.
So my favorite fighter of all time is Jose Aldo.
Yeah.
Or Jose Aldo, whatever you
I
want.
should have just said that, because I was going to say, so now is that the fight that made you have him as one of your favorites? We already know he's your I've known that for a long time. That's your boy.
Yeah. That is my boy. And that wasn't the fight that initially drew me to him. It was the Cub Swanson fight in WEC. 8 seconds, came out, 2 knees, just like that. I mean, walked right out and said, this is going to be a short night. Boop, boop, done, and walked away. And then when he beat Matt Brown, or Mike Brown.
It had to be Mike Brown.
In WEC.
Yeah.
And he beat him for the championship. And then
I don't know about... I wasn't really watching WEC back then. I never really watched... I watched a few fights with some other people, but I never really, I think it was a channel I didn't have back then.
Yeah, it was on an off channel, but
like a fight channel, an actual fight channel, I believe.
No, it was on the outdoor channel.
Did they turn it into a fight channel for a while?
It was like that. It was like at late night. It was like hunting and fighting. That's pretty much it. Was on that channel.
Because I think they had like actual kickboxing there on that channel. I might be thinking of something else.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I like the littler guys, because at one time I was a littler guy, and I would fight at 155 if that was ever
and get destroyed.
Yes, I would. I would get destroyed, but I can relate with those fighters, so I like the fight.
You can live vicariously
Yes.
easier with them because you relate. You're closer to their body style.
Yes, and everybody likes the heavyweights, and I like to be a little off the beaten path with my stuff. And the littler guys are way more technical to me, and so much faster, and the fights are high paced, and it just gets me off my seat more with the littler guys. And Jose Aldo is the man. You just can't, and he has a Netflix special on his life,
and his people love him, probably because of the movie and everything.
He's like
so.
So big.
Just wanted to ask you a question about Jose Aldo, is like how I like to pronounce it, because that's the way I was told to pronounce it. But
that's the way he wants you to pronounce it too.
So anyway, what do you think about Jose Aldo's most recent fight, and who do you think's next for Aldo? Who do you think? Who do you think's next, and who would you rather see fight him?
So he's got the winner of Ortega Holloway.
Oh, that's definitely a thing.
As far as I know, that's what I hear. That's what he said on.
Well, I don't follow him like you do. I follow everybody else.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, I have a bias against him because he's your boy, so I have to hate him.
I know.
It's like a rivalry.
Yeah. You just can't ever go with with the greats.
So what about that last fight though?
Oh, that last fight was awesome. I mean, what is it? Little Heathen, Jeremy Stevens.
Yeah.
He'd never seen that liver shot coming, man. He just boggled him. It was.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Oh yeah. Now that was never a better choice of words than that. He put him in his place for real.
Yep. But I mean, he wasn't doing. I mean, he was getting hit, so he still has a chin. That's what I felt the need. That's important to bring up is everybody was like, "Oh, McGregor knocked him out easy. He don't have no chin." And then he was losing some fights and stuff. He just wasn't looking that good. Jeremy Stevens, like straight up, hit him multiple times in the face, and he still kept going.
See, with McGregor and Aldo was beaten mentally way before that fight even started.
Yeah,
And he knew it. He was so angry. He just wanted to charge in, kind of like Kat Zingano and Ronda Rousey. Just ran right at him and just got nailed. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it was Connor's best punch too. It was a left hook. As a straight left hook, it's good night.
And you run into it.
Yeah, and he was moving forward into
I'll throw
it.
a left hook. He run into it. He's probably going to get knocked out.
Whoa, big words.
Anybody throws a left hook, you run into it, more than likely they're going to get knocked out.
Yeah, well, not my left, because I ain't left-handed, but yeah.
Left-handed, right-handed, don't matter. Somebody run into that hand, you're going down. I think you knocked me out with that left once.
You were in the air. That's why. You were in the air, and I had 12-ounce boxing gloves on. Yeah, that was a good time. I like that. We should do that again.
I was 16.
Yeah. Hadn't a clue. Let's put the gloves up. Put them up.
Yep, backyard fights. It happens every now and then.
Yes, it does. So, I pose a question to you, my friend. What is your favorite fighter?
Okay, so I had to be, one up you on this.
How you going one up on the best? You can't one up on the best.
So I picked I had categories like I did with my favorite fights. So I went along with my all-time favorite, which you know who it is.
Hendo.
Dan Henderson, the OG DC, meaning he's the original double champ. 185 and 205. He simultaneously held it.
Was it simultaneous?
In Pride.
Oh, in Pride.
But he's the first.
Okay.
And UFC bought Pride, so
what does that mean?
Technically, it's in the UFC too. They own the rights. But anyway, so I love every one of Henderson's fights. I mean,
even DC.
I won't watch that fight. I literally have not watched that fight. I just want everybody to know that it's not happening. When the clip comes on, I turn it off because I was mad about that fight even being arranged. But to move on, because I don't want to talk too much because he's going to get me all riled up.
Oh, that's the point. Because DC ragdoll.
My current favorites right now, Dillashaw. He's quickly becoming a GOAT. And
when Cejudo beats his ass, I'm going to laugh.
That's not going to happen. He's actually going to beat Cejudo even in wrestling because...
No way!
I mean, there's wrestling and then there's MMA wrestling. And Dillashaw's dangerous in transitions and stuff, so he's going to pop him in between the takedowns and everything else.
Cejudo's going to have him some nice snakeskin boots after he's done.
We'll see. And then I also had to go with another person who's stylebender, Israel Adesanya, or wow. Adesanya.
That kid is crazy.
Yeah, I'm definitely riding the hype train, but I believe in the hype with him because he's showing nothing but, and I love the fact that he's always like saying, like in his interviews and even like when he dances and stuff, he's doing like quotes and like meme stuff and like he knows the memes, so he like when he posts a picture of Dana, he says stuff about Dana, and you just got to check out his Instagram. He's got a good one.
Yeah, he does, and he reminds me a lot like Anderson when he first came on the scene with the unbelievable striking. It just looks like he's playing a video game. It's sick. Excuse me.
He's having fun with it too.
He is having fun with it. It's crazy.
He's there in the fight. Some people might go there and have adrenaline boost. He's there. He might be adrenaline, but he's in control of his own body. And you can tell.
You can tell that. He
That's
knows
why he says it's like a
everything.
video game. You know what I mean? I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
He's like, literally, he's like, okay, you're going to do this, I'm going to do this.
Doesn't he call his opponents button mashers or something like that?
Well, certain ones, it's just like when they're not really using technique, they're just kind of throwing techniques out there, hoping something lands. Just like he says, I don't just throw shots, I aim and shoot.
Yeah.
So he knows what he's going to do. He's striking based off of what you're doing. He's like, you're going to come at me with this, this, and this, so I'm going to move this way, and then that's why everything lands so perfectly.
He makes it look so easy. That's what's so inspiring or in-awing about him, if that's a word.
And the funny thing is about him is, everybody's like, oh yeah, he's a striker, but can he grapple? Can he wrestle? And the funny thing, all you hear from him is, yeah, I can't wait to show you guys my grappling. I can't wait to show you my. He thought he was gonna. He thought it's very possible that he submitted Derek Brunson.
I thought if Derek Brunson had a shot in hell, he was going to take him down, but
He tried to.
yeah, he tried. Keyword there, tried.
Wrestling.
Yeah,
His wrestling was on point.
his takedown defense was on point. I mean,
Yeah, that's wrestling. For that match, his wrestling was on point.
Okay.
He didn't need anything else.
No, he didn't. He didn't need anything but a
Chocolate
right
dealt
hand.
him.
Good lord.
Takedown defense and tear him up.
And he didn't pounce on him like most fighters, which made it so refreshing to see. Like he was really calm and just hit him one time, let him get back up, hit him again, and just made it look like you're not even on my level, not even close.
Yeah, I love when he like yelled at the ref like, that's 2 times he grabbed my shorts, and then as the ref is splitting him up, he's walking away flipping off Derek and everything. He's like, that's how you know, like he's in there. His mind is there.
Yeah, he's definitely in the moment.
Yeah.
And he is not he's not blinded by the big lights.
The anxiety. There's no anxiety.
The adrenaline dump, none of that. It's like he's in the gym, which is very
Rare.
different and rare, yeah. So, I guess we can move on to what happened recently with the fight night with the unbelievable knockout with Korean Zombie and Yair, Don Cerrone, and the snoozer with Pennington and Durandamy. That was such a snoozer. Well, what did you think about the first fight of the main card, which was what is it, Trezano and Pena?
Yeah, I knew who you're talking about.
Bob Ross.
Violent Bob Ross.
Yeah, Bob Ross.
I'm having trouble remembering that fight at the moment.
It went the distance, so it went to decision. I think it was a kind of a snoozer. Didn't get the.
Well, I mean, it was back and forth a little bit. I remember thinking like, once you thought one was gonna get a little traction and start pulling ahead of the other, you were like, and then it would just turn around or something. It just kind of just didn't feel like either one was getting anywhere.
Yeah, I think I was eating crabs at that point. I didn't care.
Yeah.
I was snoozing on that one.
I was trying to be excited about that fight.
But the one that woke me back up was the next one.
Which was that?
That was Cypher and Barber.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the girl fight.
Yeah, Barber's a beast.
She's trying to be female McGregor over here. She says she's a top contender, and she...
Caught out Dern. She called out Mackenzie Dern.
Yeah, went right for her. That's... Hey, we'll see what happens. She used to train with her, I heard. I was listening to Ariel Helwani, and he had her on, and she was saying that she trained with her because she's been bouncing around to all types of gyms.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just so high on herself and says that she's going to be the next champ. She said she wants to be the youngest champ.
Mm-hmm. She's like 20.
Yeah, real young. The youngest champ. She wants to beat John Jones's record. And she's got it on her phone to the time that she wouldn't be over John Jones. Like, I think it's like 2 years and 57 days or something like that. It's on her phone, and she knows she's got to beat that. That's her goal, is to beat that. I hope she does it, because female female division needs a new breath of fresh air in there. Needs a new star. What do you think? I know you don't like female.
I'm not the biggest fan of female fights. There are a few females that I like watching fight, but I mean at the same time, it's like it's not as exciting for me to watch the girls fight.
Like, come on, when Cyborg destroys her prey, it's not even an opponent anymore. It's more, this is my prey. She just murks girls.
It's just something about it just kind of draws me away.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but you know, it's distracting when you're watching and body parts are being exposed sometimes.
Whoa, okay.
So for the guys, I don't get distracted if a titty pops out or a butt cheek shows.
Oh, okay. I see where your motivation is.
Well, it's kind of hard to not get distracted. That's all.
Some of them, I would say. I mean, but Raquel Pennington and Durandamy, you're not getting distracted over that, are you? That was such a snoozer. I just didn't like it at all. Raquel didn't have a shot in hell.
I think I actually slept through that fight, but
yeah, Raquel didn't.
I was drinking pretty heavily that night.
Yes, you were.
The drinks were flowing. The crabs were good.
Yes.
It's kind of hard not to drink a lot when you're eating crabs.
That is true. Well, the other fight, let's get to the good fight. The two good fights, the co-main event and the main event. The co-main event with Don Cerrone and Mike Perry. Mm-hmm. What was your take on that?
That was the people's main event up until we saw the actual main event. Everybody just wanted to see that fight, or most people was more hyped about that fight than they were about the main event. But
why do you think that was a co-main event? If I was Dana, man, I'd have to make that the main event.
Well, the original main event, you forget, was with Frankie Edgar versus Zombie. Frankie Edgar got injured.
Still, that
Frankie Edgar, dude.
Yeah,
it's Edgar.
I mean, Edgar got knocked out the last fight.
It's Edgar.
I mean, off his feet knocked out.
It's Edgar.
What does that mean? That doesn't mean anything to me. Like, Edgar's not a champ right now.
Dana Dick rides Edgar. I mean, let's be honest. He gives him a title shot anytime he wants it.
Yeah. Now that you think about it, yeah, that's true.
I mean, I'm not saying Edgar's not good. I'm just saying that he might be getting a little extra here and there. Better treatment. But anyway,
so
the fight went pretty. I mean, it started off the bat just kind of back and forth crazy. You know, they were, and then they got to the ground.
No. Let's go back. So Mike Perry did the unbelievably idiotic thing of taking him down. Why would you want to take down Don Cerrone?
I haven't rewatched it, but didn't he clinch him and then they fell down to the ground and then he went for like a triangle choke or something
No,
like
Cerrone took his back, had him had his back,
and he shook him off.
Yeah, he shook him off and
then went for a takedown.
Then shot in for a takedown and just held him there. Like,
did you remember me screaming in desperation?
Don't! Yeah,
I was like, I told you no.
I'm sure his corner was saying that too, man.
Yep. I heard there was a fight afterwards. I still haven't really heard much about it other than...
What fight?
Between, like, the gyms.
The gyms, really?
I heard that they didn't air it on TV because obvious reasons. But
they don't want to repeat.
I still need to look more into that, but I heard from a few sources, like YouTube and stuff, that there was a brawl after the fight. They just didn't air it on FS1.
Oh. Well, I mean,
I'm surprised we haven't heard more of it, though.
I know John Wink, Cool John, I think that's his name. The coach.
I think everybody just calls him Wink.
Yeah.
Because it's Wink. Hold on.
Jackson Wink.
Yeah.
Okay. But, yeah, I know Wink was not happy with Mike Perry taking him down. He couldn't be. He could not be.
Did you see what he actually posted? I think it was on Instagram or something.
No, what'd he post?
He was like, damn, I'm trying to remember. He said something. He was very cringy what he was posting. He was saying that, you know, if you like, I can't remember everything, but he's like, if you like to train and, you know, help out your teammates, come join us. But if you ride Cowboys, you know what? That's what he said.
Oh yeah, I did hear about this. Okay.
You know, he's like, yeah, and then I think I don't know if it was the same video, but I remember him saying, he's like, yeah, I was disappointed that he did take him down. But I remember hearing him say that.
You have to be. I mean, that was the.
And by the way, Mike Perry's arm is not actually broken.
It's not.
The bone's not broken.
So why did he come out and say it? I mean, that's something you
he
could
actually even addressed that because a lot of people were saying, "You said your arm's broke." He's like, "Well, I thought it was broke. The bone wasn't broken, but he tore everything off the bone, so it's like
all the ligaments and muscles."
He's like, "It's not working, so it's broken."
Oh.
That's what his excuse was.
Yeah, that's an excuse right there. A lack of intelligence.
I love Mike Perry. You almost for me to call him Michael.
Call him by his government name. There you go.
No, you got to love Mike Perry. He's awesome.
Oh yes, man. But he should have stuck to the plan of beating him up. He would have
I don't
had
know if they had a plan. Did they have a plan?
You go in there and knock his fucking head off.
Cerrone said that was
the plan.
Okay, so he didn't fight with that camp, right?
Right.
And he said that's the first time that he ever went in there with a plan.
Who, Cerrone?
Yeah. So they never gave him a plan in that gym.
Yeah, I mean, there's no winners in this. There's no winners in that fight with Wink and Cerrone. They don't need each other. There's plenty of other gyms out there. Excuse me. But it was good. It was a good hype up to the fight. It made me want to watch it more. I love that part of it. I love the.
So, as soon as I seen, I don't know if you remember me saying this, but as soon as I seen him walk through and then he literally seen his baby. Do you remember me? And I was like, oh, he's winning.
Yeah, you were like, his kid's there, man. He ain't losing in front of a kid.
Not in my house.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Not in his house at all.
That was a showdown at the Cowboy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then when he brought his son up there.
Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah, his son's middle name's Danger.
Is it?
Yeah.
Danger? What's his first? What's the kid's name?
I can't remember his first name, dude, but I know his middle. I was like, that's so cool because, everybody's like, Danger's my middle name.
Yeah.
His son's middle name's Danger. And then, but him holding the monster and stuff on TV.
It was great.
Yeah.
That was such a great moment. I felt so good with Cowboy and everything. You had all that animosity, and he had his moment. I hope he gets a big payday now. Mm-hmm. And supposedly he is.
Yeah, he might be fighting Connor. Almost forgot his name.
Yeah, that would be a nice fight. You think Connor beats him easy, or what do you think on that?
Oh hell, that's a bad matchup for Connor, I believe.
Well, Cerrone does do well on the ground, and
Cerrone has great jiu-jitsu.
Yes, he does.
Underrated,
but anybody's jiu-jitsu is better than Connor's.
Yeah, but he has great jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, I know.
So, and he's fighting somebody who's not good on the ground at all.
So what do you think?
I think Connor's team is probably, if they take this fight, they're thinking of it as a warm-up for
the rematch with Khabib.
Because he's not going to be as intense, but he's going to be looking to take him down. At least that's what they're going to think.
You think he gets rid of Dylan Dennis? Connor gets rid of Dylan Dennis and gets a new coach? Because his ground game sucks.
Dylan Dennis's ground game sucks?
No, not Dylan Dennis's ground game, but maybe his coaching skills suck because Connor's ground game is shit.
I think it was his whole camp was geared towards, like they said on the Rogan interview, they were training to fight to not lose, not fight to win. So I think there was an error in their whole mentality behind the whole training camp.
Yeah.
So I don't think that he needs a different person, but I think that Cowboy's not going to be afraid to strike with him either.
No, Cowboy has no fear.
I don't think Cowboy's afraid of him.
I think he has even more conviction now that his kid's in the picture and he's fighting for food on the table now. I mean, I think he even said that on a post-fight interview.
Yeah, we're going to see Cowboy maybe in a title shot soon.
That would be awesome.
I think so.
He needs to get a belt. He broke all them records, most wins, most finishes. I mean, he's beating out Silva and George St. Pierre.
If this fight happens, I got him beating Connor.
And what does that do for Connor's stock? I mean, that'd be 3 in a row for Connor.
Connor's good no matter what.
Well, you're not good if you keep losing.
No, I just mean he's good. I mean, hold on. 3 in a row?
Yeah, then he lost to Diaz, right? Lost to Diaz.
No, he won the rematch, dude.
Oh, he did. Okay, I'm sorry.
You're thinking of the boxing match don't count in MMA.
No, but public opinion. I mean, you lose 3 times. You lose a boxing match, then you lose Khabib, and now if you lose against Cerrone, man, I mean, you're not looking like the best in the world like you claim.
Yeah, well, I mean...
And if he does lose that fight, I hope to hell that Aldo gets his freaking rematch because he needs it.
Now, you know for a fact, I've always been a Conor hater. It's not... I like him. I like his personality outside the ring. I like all the shenanigans. But...
I think he takes it too damn far.
I don't. Whatever.
Throwing dollies at buses, calling out people's religion, calling people's fathers out left and right. Come on, man.
Whatever.
Whatever? Really?
He doesn't mean it personally. He doesn't mean it personally.
He might not mean it personally, but I mean, the person that he talked to is going to take it personally.
All right. Well, anyway, to get to the point, what I was trying to say, which I'm pretty sure I forgot. Let me think what I was saying.
So the point was we were talking about Donald Cerrone and his Mike Perry, and then we got into
Cerrone's next fight.
Yeah.
But I was trying to say something about Conor because you were asking me about Conor.
Okay.
But I can't remember what it was.
So if Conor loses this fight, what does that do to Conor's stock? It drops it significantly, doesn't it? I mean, would you want to keep seeing Conor get his ass beat? I mean, even though you're a Conor hater.
Oh, okay. So, yeah. Every fight Conor's ever been in, up until the boxing match, I've always said, there's no way Conor's going to win. There's no way Conor's going to win this match.
Against Dennis Seaver. Dustin Poirier. Eddie Alvarez.
Yeah, all of them.
All of them?
You don't remember? Like, this is back when we used to go to Buffalo Wild Wings, bro.
Yeah, I remember.
So I used to always be like, dude, there's no way he's going to win tonight. There's no way. And even against Chad Mendez on 2 weeks' notice, whatever, I didn't see that happening.
I didn't see that happening either. I thought Chad Mendez was going to take him down and choke him out.
Everybody was supposedly his kryptonite. It just seemed that way. And then I was like, you know what? I need to believe in Conor's thing. And then his next fight ended up being a boxing match. And I was like, whatever. I vowed to never bet against Conor. I didn't actually bet money, but I was like, he could pull it off.
You are the curse.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, I'm the worst fight pick.
Yes, without
Not always.
doubt.
Sometimes I call him dead on. Like, even to the whatever strike was used and everything.
Oh, man. If Buddy picks a fight, pick the opposite guy, because that's how you're going to win your money.
Yeah. You could say I'm like, what's his name?
Where? Come on now. What you got?
They got the podcast, MMA podcast. John Ankett and who's his co-host?
I don't know.
How do you not know this?
I don't listen to John Anik. I don't know. I mean, I know Luke Thomas.
He was in the Ultimate Fighter 1. I cannot think of... He fought Aldo at one point.
Kenny Florian?
Ken Flo.
Oh, okay.
They say he's the curse, for real.
Oh, yeah, I heard that.
Watch all his fight picks, dude. It's like...
They're similar to yours.
That's why I'm like, yo, I can't even listen to him. Because I'm like, yeah, he's got a point.
Yeah. I'm going to pick that guy. Oh, damn. Wrong again.
Whatever.
Well, I can't say anything because out of all my fight picks this fight night, I got one right.
Yeah.
Just one. But.
Yeah. We got a Instagram for this show that we're doing, and I had a few people, and if you guys want to get involved, follow us at MMA_marks on Instagram. So I told people to send in your fight picks, and we had like a little friendly competition. Might be more than friendly, depending on how many people get involved and want to actually put up money or something, or competition-wise, whatever. But our friend Donovan, we just did the main card of who would win. You know, he got 5 out of 6 fights right, which is unheard of with us three. We usually watch fights together.
Yeah.
Ricky only got 1 fight right.
That's unheard of. Right there. That was unheard of.
Me and my boy Mikey, we both got 2 right. 2 different fights that we both got right, but we both were right on 2 fights out of the 6.
So before we get into the main event, there was a fight in the prelims, I think, or the Fight Pass card with, what is it, Devontae or Dante Smith?
I think it's Devontae or Devont
Smith.
I don't know. It's the TE at the end. I don't know if they pronounce it Devontae or not. I'm pretty sure this guy was on Dana White's looking for a fight.
Well, wherever he was, he starched that guy.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy didn't stand a chance.
Yeah, I mean, that was probably one of my favorite fights of the night.
That fight was so quick, they replayed the whole fight over again, just so they could kill time.
And look, I was so excited. I was drunkenly, and I'm like, Ricky's like, "What happened?" I was like, he went, "Bink, bink," and look, right afterwards, Joe Rogan's talking to him. I think it was Joe Rogan. It might have been somebody else. Can't remember who was.
No, because it wasn't
Was
Joe
it
Rogan.
Felder?
It was Jimmy Smith. No, it had to be Felder.
It was
Had to be
Felder. So Felder's talking to him, and he's like, "Yeah," I was like, "Bink, bink." I was like, "That's my new favorite fighter right there." Had to follow him on IG. Hashtag Bink Bink right up on his Instagram page.
That's right. I want to see that guy do well.
He'll probably have another fight soon.
Well,
He didn't get injured.
He didn't even break a sweat.
Yeah.
That guy was.
Keep the ball rolling.
Yeah, he did.
We're big fans.
All right. So, what did you think about? I know you were in and out because it was late, but the 5-round absolute war that happened with Korean Zombie. What is it? Chen Sunjung. I guess that's
I have no idea how to say his name.
I guess that's how you pronounce it. And Yair Rodriguez,
Yeah, so
as you call him, Howard the Duck.
well, I think that Zombie was just like himself. You know, he was being a zombie.
He was eating them,
taking them and giving them, and he was doing good. It wasn't looking too good for Yair, really. I mean, I don't think so. I mean, I didn't intently watch the whole fight because I was in and out of it. But I think it wasn't. I'm not saying it looked like he was about to be knocked out, but I think he was losing the fight pretty good for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, Zombie was eating the strikes, and they didn't look significant.
Yeah, and then my opinion of how it ended, I feel like he kind of tricked Zombie into that. In a weird way, he was like, "Hey, let's celebrate, let's celebrate, let's celebrate."
But they did that all through the fight.
Yeah, but it was just weird. It was a weird situation, but I mean, they both went for it. They celebrated. They kind of both went weird.
That's what made it a great fight, though, man.
Yeah, I remember because I was starting to fall asleep. I just kept dozing off, and then all of a sudden I hear you just screaming, "Oh my God! It ended with a headbutt! A headbutt! You guys need to see this!"
When you see it in real time, you did not expect that elbow to come that way. I had to look back on instant replay to see that, and wow, I thought it was a headbutt for sure. Even Paul Felder thought it was.
Yeah, Felder thought it was a headbutt.
Yeah, because
it looked like a headbutt when we watched it at first too, and then when we seen the different angle.
It happened so fast, man, and that's never happened. That elbow's never happened. A strike like that's never happened. A knockout like that with 1 second on the clock. Good night. And it's Zombie at that. A person that eats punches.
Who doesn't get knocked out
At all.
Yeah.
Doesn't even get
he
dazed.
gets rocked and everything, but that's why they call him Zombie.
I mean,
He's the Walking Dead.
Yeah, he was dead all right.
Yep. Oh, he was out. Headshot, just like you do a zombie.
Oh my, yeah, yep, double tap. So, I mean, that war was so... did you see the part? I don't know if you were watching or not, but Koreans, I think it was in like the second or third round, Korean Zombie comes running at him, and he wants to do a flying knee. And I got this from Chael Sonnen too, so you can go back and listen to it.
Yeah,
but
shout out to Chael.
That's right. Rodriguez, instead of blocking the knee, he jumps in the air to avoid it. Mm-hmm. Completely. It's like thinking way outside the box. And I've only seen Yair fight maybe one other time. And so seeing fighters think outside the box is so great. I love seeing that. So because you get different perspectives.
Yeah.
But when he jumped out of the way, and he did it on purpose, and he took the knee to the balls instead of taking it to the head. I mean,
I think I did see that now.
Yeah, that's thinking way out of the box. I mean, because you think about it, you get kneed in the balls, you get what? You
5
get
minutes.
5 minutes.
5 minutes.
That's right.
Nobody ever takes it. I would take it.
I'd take
that
it.
5-minute breather.
Yep. You would boo me out of the stadium.
I'm like, hey, I got my breather.
That's right. That's right. I'm gonna come in real fresh, and with an attitude to knock you out. Yeah, I'd have took my 5. but he didn't get his 5. I think the ref knew what was going on. He didn't even call it.
Yeah.
And just let him go.
But didn't he get hit in the balls again, or was it more than once? Or
yeah, he kicked him once in the balls, I think.
Yeah, and it actually
then
got
kneed him.
called?
Yeah, well, they didn't stop the fight.
But they acknowledged it and then they tapped gloves about it.
Yeah, and they just kept on going.
Yeah, I remember.
But they kept like stopping and enjoying the moment so much it was kind of taken away from the momentum of the fight later on.
But I feel like Zombie wasn't really trying to do that. But he was just like, hey, Yair's initiating. I don't want the fans to boo me for saying fuck you.
Yeah, he was a little too gracious, too respectful, I think.
Yeah,
if Zombie would have bit down on the mouthpiece
Them
and just
dirty Mexicans.
Whoa! Shots fired.
Messing with a little Korean.
Shots fired. Yeah, that fight was unbelievable. You think it's knockout of the year? Or knockout of all time?
No.
No?
No.
Not even knockout of all time.
No.
Or not even knockout of the year, I should say.
Maybe greatest elbow knockout of all time.
How many elbow knockouts are there? I mean, you don't see them that
I can't
often.
name any right now.
Especially a no-look upwards elbow out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's a cool knockout.
And to flatline your opponent at that.
It's a cool knockout.
I think that was up there with knockout of the year.
Maybe that's something something we can, because it's something I would have to research, because I would have to look at a few knockouts. Maybe something for another episode for knockout of all time.
Yeah.
Because I want to go back and watch a couple knockouts then.
So what do you think about these upcoming fights? Because I don't know much about them. I mean,
so
these kind of came to me at surprise. And you got coming up next is Neil Magny and Ponzinibbio.
Yeah, I can't even remember his first name.
Yeah, I can't even. I don't know.
He's a striker. He beat Mike Perry. He's good. Is
he a bad matchup for Neil Magny, you think?
No.
You think Magny's got it?
It's tough to say.
Well, I'm trying to get you to make a prediction here so I can pick the other guy.
Yeah, I'll go with Magny.
You'll go with Magny?
Yeah.
All right, you heard it here, folks. That Magny's losing them.
I like Ponzinibbio. Don't get me wrong. I mean, he's intense and he's got good striking, but I think Magny's more well-rounded, and I think that Magny will have a more technical way of a strategy towards the fight.
Yeah, I can see that. I think Magny's got great groundwork, and that could work in his favor. Anybody's got. I'm a big advocate for groundwork.
Yeah, but I mean he's also got good striking. I wouldn't say Magny has bad striking.
No, not too bad striking. Well, what about the rematch up after that fight with Curtis Blades and Francis Ngannou?
I feel bad because it's hard for me to not root for Francis Ngannou, just because I like his story. I think he's one of those guys that they said he was homeless, recently, and now he's making it big, and I really don't think that he was ready for the big time, like all that fame and stuff. He didn't really understand.
Yeah, he got exposed.
Dana White's kind of like coming at him real hard. He doesn't really understand that. He's like, I don't even know me and Dana had a problem type of deal, but I got Blades beating him terribly.
Terribly?
Yes, I got him dropping him. Just like, I think it wasn't Blades' last fight. He just got the guy on the ground and just delivered the most devastating elbows to the guy's face.
Oh my God, he destroyed Alistair Overeem. I mean, he just destroyed it.
Yeah, it was Overeem.
Yeah, it destroyed his face.
Well, it's not Ubereem no more, that's why.
Yeah, that's true. You got to thank USADA for that one.
But I think that he can do the same exact thing, if not worse, to Francis.
Yeah, I got that too. Ngannou got exposed with Stipe, just like Kimbo got exposed. And after that, after you see that hole in your game, if you don't patch it up, you're done for. So I hope Ngannou's working on his groundwork, his footwork, his takedown defense is probably the number one thing I would work on with that guy is takedown defense.
I actually would say that. I mean, I agree with you for the most part, but I think he needs to work on his cardio. Especially, I think that's what he's afraid of. That's why he was afraid to initiate with,
Derek Lewis.
Derek Lewis.
That was
and
that fight had such big potential and turned out to be a snoozer.
Stipe put him in that place where he was past tired. And if you listen to a lot of fighters in interviews or these are old fighters, new fighters, all of them, most of them say they're not afraid of getting knocked out. They're not afraid of getting punched in the face. They're afraid of getting tired.
Yeah.
And Stipe did that to Ngannou to where it fucked his head up all kinds. So I think he needs to get his cardio together because once the cardio's gone, he's nothing.
Yeah. Can't breathe, can't fight.
Yep. You can at least roll around while the elbows are coming if you got cardio.
That's right. And the next card after that is Dos Santos versus Tuivasa with the big fat Hawaiian dude. That guy, I like that guy.
He does the shoeies.
Yes, he does. That guy is
I love all those
bad
guys.
Man.
All those like New Zealand, Australian type dudes.
Is he New Zealand? I thought he was Hawaiian.
He's either Australian or New Zealand. He might be. I think he's New Zealand though. I don't know. I know him and Mark Hunt train together. I believe.
He's got a big old Samoan tattoo. I'll tell you that.
And I believe he said something about how he was training with the 185er champ. He's trained with him a few times.
Whitaker.
Robert Whitaker.
Oh yeah, because Whitaker is New Zealand.
Yeah.
He's from New Zealand. Okay.
Australia, New Zealand. I don't even know the difference, dude.
It's about what? 3,000 miles.
I could mix up an accent from New Zealand, Australian, and British. They all sound the same to me.
Yeah, I can see that.
Oh, so only certain words that trigger like, oh, okay, so that guy's definitely not British.
So Dos Santos ain't got a chance in hell, you think?
Oh, I don't know, dude. I wouldn't. The way you put that, dude, it kind of threw me off. 'Cause I definitely would never say Dos Santos don't have a chance in hell. He's great striking with knockout power, dude. He can end a fight.
He can, but he hasn't. Who's the last one he ended?
I couldn't tell you. I mean,
exactly. Neither could I.
He hasn't fought in a while. USADA kind of screwed him over.
Oh.
Taking supplements.
Oh my God. Yeah. Damn USADA. The golden snitch strikes again.
But I would actually go with the Tai Tuivasa or whatever.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's up and comer, powerful.
No,
hungry.
you got to go against me. Remember?
Yeah, I'm actually gonna go with you on this one.
All right.
I can't go against you because I don't think Junior's. I think.
You think he's done?
Yeah, I think he's done.
I don't think he's done, but I mean, I think he still's got it, but I think he's better with he'll do better with more old school guys.
Yeah, but the sport's evolving again.
Yeah.
So you behind that curve, man, you're gonna get left in the dust. Yep. And I think he's just a brawler, man. He's gonna get left in the dust. And then my favorite coming up. I can't wait for this fight. Max Holloway and Brian T. City Ortega. Can't wait for that fight.
Now that's a Hawaiian.
That is Hawaii, yes.
That's Max Holloway's Hawaiian. And T City, he's from what, California?
Yes, Torrance. Training with Henrik Gracie. One of my favorites.
So
I got T City winning. Straight up. He gonna
Oh, you ain't gonna make me go first this
No,
time.
No, I picked this guy.
Somebody's excited.
Yes, I am. I want to see T City and Jose Aldo for a title. That's what I want to see.
All right, so
what?
I'm nervous that Max Holloway might have lost it with that whole weird health issue.
You think? Yeah, he definitely looked not healthy. He looked punch drunk going that interview. I don't know. I think he's done.
I want to say that T City has bad striking at all. I wouldn't say that at all.
Oh no, his striking has improved dramatically.
But he does get touched.
Yeah.
And Max Holloway doesn't really knock people out like one strike. He keeps punching and he's very high pressured.
Yes, he does keep a pace, but
You know, that might
Ortega's got cardio for days, man.
It might get him caught. It might get a take. It might make it easier for. Who knows?
If it goes to the ground, who do you got? I got T-City, son.
Yeah, but Holloway's no slouch.
He's not a slouch, but he ain't on that level, man. T-City choke you out so quick, your head will spin. Just take your head home with him.
Yeah, with them health issues and everything, I still like Holloway, but I'm gonna go with T-City.
Oh, damn. He doomed him. He doomed him.
I was close to going Holloway, dude, but
Oh, well,
I mean, it's the health issues that kind of.
Well, I haven't heard
I gotta
anything.
sway.
I mean, he hasn't been doing a
I
lot of
swayed,
interviews.
so you ain't gonna convince me to go the other way.
Oh, come on. I want T-City to win. So, what do you think? Now that we're talking about it, T-City and Jose Aldo, what do you think?
So, T-City, Jose Aldo. Let me just say this now. T-City will fucking destroy Aldo.
Destroy Aldo, wow. Now, Aldo has a black belt in jiu-jitsu, though we've never seen him on the ground. I want to see that go to the ground. I want to see Aldo fight somebody on the ground. That's what I want to see. But I have to go with my favorite on that one, Aldo. I want to see Aldo win. I want to see him get that belt, and then I want to see him come right up to the mic and say, in English maybe, that he wants Conor McGregor and get that redemption because he desperately needs it.
You know, I like Aldo as a fighter to a certain degree. But I'll tell you one thing. I lost a lot of respect when I heard rumors, and then I feel like I kind of had it confirmed with some other stories. It's all a lot of hearsay. But Aldo has spies that he puts in other camps to see what his opponents are doing.
Well, you calling him the Patriots over here?
I'm just saying that he's kind of a bitch for that.
We use Spygate on
He's
MMA?
kind of a bitch for that. If you're like, so
If that's true, I mean,
as good as Aldo was doing and everything,
Aldo is
he was on a
destroying
tear.
people.
He was on a tear and everything, and you know he definitely could be considered. Back then, he would have been considered for pound, maybe even one of the GOATs.
He stayed on top for what, 10 years?
Could have been, but I mean, and this is just my own reasoning. Since
Okay.
hearing that, I'll never put him on that ranking.
So what about Tom Brady? I mean,
I don't know football. Don't bring it up.
but come on, man. I mean, he's considered the best quarterback in the world, and apparently they do the same shit.
Yeah, but fighting is different than fighting is different than football.
Well, yeah.
Okay, this is man versus man. You do a bitch move that makes you less of a man.
So you're saying developing a game plan is a bitch move?
Having spies is a bitch move.
It can be. I could see that.
Be somebody like Stylebender, or there's plenty of other fighters like that, but they're ready for whatever.
You're ready. You're ready. I can't. I don't
You know,
know.
you have
I've
an
never
idea
heard
what
these.
you have an idea what. I'm sure I've brought it up to you.
No, I know you have not.
I
Not with
have.
spouse, because I would have known that. I would have definitely fought you on that, and at least research. So now I got research to do. And I gotta confirm or deny
You better write that down.
these. Oh, I'm writing it down. Trust that. Where's the pen? I'll write it down.
So anyway, fighting's different than football.
Here, everybody. I'm writing this down.
Football is a team sport. It's not man versus man or woman versus woman. If you're gonna do moves that even just little things, it's not okay. So winning's winning, but at the same time, it's like if you're doing little dumb things, it takes you out of the talk in my book as one of the greatest of all time, which I think Aldo could be considered for that.
Yeah, I mean,
At least one of them.
yeah, definitely. I think he is, if not the best pound for pound guy. I mean, Anderson Silva himself back in the day said he's the fighter that he would never want to see is Jose Aldo, and I guess you know why, because his legs are breakable.
They could never fight.
I know they couldn't fight, but
I mean, it's what 145 versus
185. I understand. That that's never
at
gonna fight.
1.205.
Yeah, everybody has some cake every now and then. Get up to 205. Oh man. So what do you think? You think this is a good place to wrap up and
Yeah, I
head
mean,
out?
maybe as a way to say goodbye to the people listening in. You know, thank you for listening to our podcast. Please follow our IG. You know, subscribe to our podcast on whatever you're listening to it on.
That's right.
And, you know, you can follow me at Buddy369 on Instagram. And you can feel free to DM us on our podcast or my personal account. And just listen in for more. We're going to have plenty coming in the future.
Couldn't said it better myself. Well, I'm Ricky.
I'm Buddy.
This is MMA Marks, and we're out of here.
Peace.